Have you ever sat alone in the darkness of your room, holding your chest because the pain inside felt heavier than your own body? Have you ever looked into the mirror with eyes swollen from crying and whispered softly, Ya Allah, why does it hurt this much? There are moments in life when the heart becomes a battlefield, where your faith pulls you in one direction and your fear drags you in the other. Moments when you try so hard to stay strong, yet inside you feel like you are breaking piece by piece. You look at your life and you wonder, I pray, I try to be good, I avoid hurting people, I raise my hands to the sky every night. So why is my world falling apart? Why is the door of ease not opening? Why do my du'as feel unanswered? Why does it seem like I am the only one drowning while everyone else is breathing freely? Maybe you've been betrayed by the one you trusted the most. Maybe you lost someone you thought you could never live without. Maybe your health changed overnight, your job disappeared, your plans collapsed, and suddenly life felt like a stranger. And deep inside, although you fear saying it out loud, a small voice whispers, Has Allah forgotten me? My dear listener, pause here. Breathe. Your pain is valid, your tears are seen, and your confusion is more human than you think. But before your heart runs to conclusions, before you let sorrow convince you that Allah has abandoned you, I want you to listen with the ears of your soul. Because the truth behind your pain is not what you think it is. There is a place in the Quran where Allah speaks directly to the heart that is tired, scared, and wounded. A place where He doesn't speak to scholars or saints or perfect worshippers. He speaks to the ones who are breaking. And if your heart feels heavy right now, then know that this message was sent for you. But before we open that message, I want you to imagine something. Imagine a child who's learning to walk. He stumbles, he falls, he cries. And the mother watches. Does she rush every time? Does she carry him every time he slips? No. She lets him fall so he can learn how to balance. She lets him struggle so his legs can grow stronger. Not because she is cruel, because she loves him more than he understands. Now ask yourself, if a mother does this out of love, then what about the one whose mercy is greater than 1,000 mothers combined? Do you really think your struggle is a sign that He is angry with you? Or could it be that you are being strengthened for something you cannot see yet? Sometimes Allah removes a person from your life not to break your heart, but to save it. Sometimes He closes a door, not to punish you, but to protect you. Sometimes He delays a blessing not because you are unworthy, but because the blessing is being prepared, beautiful, perfect, and timed in a way that only His wisdom understands. And sometimes He puts you through pain, not because you are far from Him, but because He wants to pull you closer than you have ever been. So before you let grief define your story, before you assume your hardships mean you are unloved, I want you to take this journey with me, because the answer to why is this happening to me is far deeper, far gentler, and far more beautiful than you have ever imagined. And once you understand it, your tears will not stop, but their meaning will change forever. When a human being feels pain, the first instinct is to escape it. We try to push it away, hide it, numb it, or pretend it does not exist. But there is a type of pain that no medicine can silence, a type of ache that sits deep in the heart, an ache that wakes you up at night, that makes your hands tremble, that forces you to pause in the middle of your day because your chest suddenly tightens. This pain feels personal, almost intentional, as if it was crafted specifically for you. And that is exactly where its secret lies. Your greatest pain is not random. It is not meaningless. It is not a coincidence. It is a form of divine purification, wrapped in a moment of suffering you did not expect. There are impurities inside every one of us, anger buried under our smiles, pride we do not admit, attachments we refuse to let go of, sins we forgot about, wounds we pretend are healed, and illusions that we are in control. These impurities do not disappear when life is comfortable. Ease rarely humbles us. Comfort rarely wakes us up. When everything goes our way, we drift. We forget. We soften toward dunya and harden toward our Lord. So Allah, in His mercy, sends us a pain that shakes the dust off our souls. He sends a moment that feels like everything is collapsing, not to destroy us, but to purify us from what was silently destroying us inside. Think of gold. When it is taken from the earth, it is not beautiful. It is mixed with dirt, rock, and metals that do not belong to it. No matter how much you polish it on the outside, those impurities remain. The gold must be put into fire, intense, scorching fire. And in that fire, the impurities melt away. The gold does not scream, but if it could, it would. Because purification is painful. But once it comes out, it shines in a way it never could have without the fire. You are that gold. Your pain is that fire. And Allah is the one who knows exactly how long you need to be in the flame so that nothing is burned except what was holding you back from Him. There are times when Allah takes something from you, not because you were ungrateful, but because He wants to remove an attachment that was slowly poisoning your heart. There are times when He closes a door you desperately want, not because you are unworthy, but because behind that door was a path that would have led you further away from Him. There are moments when you feel abandoned, but in reality, He is removing the distractions so that you can finally hear His voice in your life again. Pain purifies your intentions. When you are broken, you stop performing for people. You stop pretending. You stop caring about who approves and who doesn't. You return to sincerity, to that quiet whisper, Ya Allah, I need you. That moment of truth, raw, honest, unfiltered, is more valuable than years of worship done with a distracted heart. Pain purifies your priorities. It forces you to reevaluate the things you thought you could not live without. It strips away your illusions, your ego, and your false securities. It teaches you that relying on anything other than Allah will always lead to disappointment. Pain purifies your heart. Tears wash away what arrogance refuses to release. Brokenness invites humility, and humility brings you closer to Allah than comfort ever could. So the next time your heart shatters, remember this is not punishment, this is not rejection, this is purification. Allah is preparing you, not replacing you. He is refining you, not ruining you. And the version of you that comes out of this pain will shine in ways the old you never could. When Allah tests you, it is never to crush you. It is to reveal something inside you that you did not know existed. Something powerful, something beautiful, something sacred. But you only discover it when life pushes you to the very edge of what you think you can handle. Most people live their entire lives without ever meeting the strong. It's inversion of themselves, because strength is not built in comfort. Strength is uncovered in struggle. And Allah, in His mercy, sends certain difficulties to unlock parts of your soul that would remain hidden otherwise. You may feel weak right now. You may feel like your heart is trembling, your patience is thinning, your courage is fading. You may find yourself wondering, why would Allah put me through this when He knows how fragile I am? But what you see as fragility, Allah sees as potential. What you view as the breaking point, Allah sees as the beginning of transformation. And what you interpret as a test meant to harm you is often a test meant to show you who you truly are, beneath the layers of fear, doubt, and self-limitation. Think about every prophet, every righteous believer, every person Allah honored with a high rank. Their greatness did not appear during days of ease. It emerged during moments of hardship. Prophet Musa discovered his courage only when he stood before the Red Sea with an army behind him. Prophet Yunus found the purity of his dua only when he was alone in the belly of the whale. Prophet Ayub found the depth of his patience not when he had everything, but when everything was taken away. Their tests did not ruin them, their tests revealed them. And the same is true for you. Inside you is a level of sabr you have not tasted yet, a level of tawakkul you have not reached yet, a level of strength you do not believe you have. You only meet that version of yourself when Allah writes a challenge in your destiny. It is in the late night tears, the silent battles, the hidden heartbreaks, the private struggles, those moments that feel almost unbearable, that Allah lifts the veil and shows you the purity of your faith, the depth of your resilience, and the sincerity of your heart. When everything is easy, we do not grow, we stay the same. our hearts, sleep. But when a hardship arrives, it wakes everything inside us. Suddenly your dua is different, longer, deeper, more raw. Suddenly you feel your need for Allah in a way you never felt before. Suddenly the Quran speaks to you, not as a book, but as a lifeline. Suddenly you find yourself doing things you did not know you could, enduring what you thought would break you, rising from things you thought would drown you. Allah tests you to reveal your loyalty, whether you worship Him only in comfort or also in difficulty. He tests you to reveal your patience, whether you can hold on when your heart is shaking. He tests you to reveal your sincerity, whether your faith is for Him or for the good days He gives you. He tests you to reveal your humility, whether you understand that without Him you have nothing. And most beautifully, He tests you to reveal your dependence on Him. When every door closes, when every person disappears, when every plan collapses, when every effort fails, you finally realize that the only one who was ever in control was Allah. That realization is not weakness, it is the greatest strength a believer can possess. So when a hardship comes, do not assume it is the end of you. Perhaps it is the beginning of the strongest, closest to Allah version of you. Perhaps the struggle is the mirror Allah is using to show you the purity and power He placed inside your soul long before you even knew it was there. When you lose something in this dunya, the heart immediately feels the weight of it. The absence, the silence, the sudden emptiness. It all feels heavy because you were attached, you cared, you hoped, you planned. But what you see as a loss is only the surface of the story. Allah's plan is always unfolding beyond the limits of your sight, and every loss you experience in this world carries a hidden arrangement in the unseen that is far greater than what slipped, fed from your hands. Sometimes Allah removes something not because it was bad, but because it was too small for the future He is preparing for you. You were thinking in centimeters, and Allah was planning in galaxies. You were holding a door handle, and Allah was preparing a gate. But the human heart cannot see that in the moment. It only knows what it had, not what is coming. It only knows the chapter that ended, not the chapters being written. Think of everything Allah has ever taken away from you. A relationship, an opportunity, a job, a friendship, a dream. Whatever it was, you survived it. But more than surviving, you grew through it. You learned to rely on Him in a way you never did before. You cried to Him in a way you never had before. And every tear that fell was not a sign of weakness. It was a sign that Allah was moving you closer to Him, even if the path felt sharp and painful. Loss cleans the heart from attachments that were quietly pulling you away from Allah. Sometimes you don't even realize that your heart was becoming dependent on something temporary, something incapable of carrying the weight of your hopes. Allah, out of mercy, removes it so that your heart can return to the only one who never leaves, never changes, and never disappoints. You look at what you lost and think, why me? Why now? But Allah looks at your future and says, if you knew what I know, you would thank me. Because your loss is not the end. It is a divine rearrangement. It is Allah shifting your life away from harm you cannot see, opening paths you haven't discovered, and preparing gifts that are still hidden behind the curtain of destiny. Sometimes Allah withholds something you are begging for because He knows it would limit you. Sometimes He delays something because the timing is not ripe yet. And sometimes He allows it to slip from your hands so He can place something far, better in the same space. Nothing leaves your life unless it was meant to leave. Nothing stays unless Allah commands it to stay. When a believer experiences loss, it is never empty. It always carries meaning, even if the meaning is hidden. You may not see Allah's wisdom in the moment, but you will see it in the outcome. Every loss that brings you closer to Him, softens your heart, deepens your dua, and strengthens your trust is not a loss at all. It is a gift dressed in disguise. So when something slips away from you, don't assume you were deprived. Assume Allah is protecting you. Assume He is redirecting you. Assume He is preparing something so precisely crafted for you that when you receive it, you'll say, Ya Allah, now I understand why the other thing didn't work. What you lose in dunya is always temporary. What Allah prepares for you in the unseen is always better. Your heart just needs patience, trust, and the belief that your Lord never takes without giving, never breaks without healing, and never delays without a purpose. When your dua is delayed, the heart immediately begins to question. You wonder if Allah heard you, if your words mattered, if your tears reached the heavens. You sit in silence after long nights of prayer and think, why is nothing changing? But the truth is, everything has already begun to change, just not in a way your eyes can measure yet. Allah's timing is not a denial, it's a design built with wisdom, precision, and mercy far beyond what your limited understanding can grasp. Sometimes you ask for something, and in the same moment, Allah knows giving it instantly would harm you. He sees the full picture while you see only a fragment. You see the seed, He sees the tree. You see the moment, He sees the lifetime. So He delays not to deprive you, but to prepare you, to shape you into the person who can handle what you are asking for, who can appreciate it, protect it, and not be destroyed by it. Every delayed dua carries a process of transformation within it. Allah doesn't only give you what you ask for, He makes you ready for it. He strengthens your heart, cleans your intentions, purifies your reliance, and removes the obstacles you don't even know exist. Sometimes the delay is not about the dua, it's about your heart becoming the kind of heart that can receive the blessing without being ruined by it. You see silence. Allah is writing. You see stillness. Allah is rearranging. You see nothing moving. Allah is moving everything. In the delay, Allah is protecting you from rushing into something that is not yet safe. He is preventing you from settling for something that looks good now but would break you later. He is saving you from a path that seems appealing but would darken your heart. What feels like waiting is actually a shield of mercy placed around your life. And the most beautiful part, Allah never forgets a dua, not one. Every whisper, every tear, every trembling moment of your hands raised, He preserves it, guards it, and responds to it in the perfect way at the perfect time. The delay is not a sign that Allah is distant. It is a sign that He is deeply involved in the details of your life. It means He is giving your dua the kind of care that requires time, alignment, and wisdom. Think of the Prophet ﷺ, who made dua for years before seeing answers unfold. Think of Zakaria ﷺ, who kept calling upon his Lord in secret until old age. And Allah responded at the moment no one expected. Think of Yusuf ﷺ, who waited in a dark well, then a prison cell, until Allah brought him out to the highest ranks. Every delay was a staircase. Every wait was a preparation. So when your dua feels delayed, do not say, Allah is not answering me. Say, Allah is preparing something for me. Say, my Lord's timing is better than my planning. Say, if He withholds, He is protecting. If He delays, He is perfecting. If He gives, it will be worth every second I waited. Your dua is never rejected, it is answered in a way that suits your soul, not your impatience. The believer who trusts Allah's timing never loses. Because nothing that comes late in dunya arrives late in your destiny. It comes at the exact moment Allah writes. And at that moment, you will understand why it couldn't have come a second earlier. Every hardship that brings you closer to Allah is not a misfortune. It is a hidden gift, wrapped in trials that your heart may not understand at first. Sometimes Allah shakes your life to wake your soul. He removes the illusion of control, so you return to the one who has always been in control. The pain you feel is not punishment, it is a pull back to your Lord, back to your purpose, back to the place where your heart truly belongs. When life becomes heavy, when something breaks inside you, when your plans collapse one after another, this is often the moment your heart becomes soft enough to receive what Allah has been trying to give you all along, closeness to Him. A heart full of dunya cannot fully taste the sweetness of faith, but a heart cracked by hardship becomes wide open for divine light to enter. The same tears that fall from pain become the water that cleans your soul. Hardship strips away distractions. It removes the noise of dunya It forces you to confront your weakness and recognize your need for Allah. It humbles you, softens you, and teaches you that nothing in this world can carry the weight of your hopes except the one who created you. When you lose people, opportunities, comfort, or stability, you realize that the only one who never leaves, never changes, never fails is Allah. This realization alone is a blessing greater than the loss. Some hardships come to break your attachment to what was never meant to stay. Others come to prepare you for what is meant for you. And some come to elevate you, to raise your rank, forgive your sins, and polish your heart. The believer's pain is never empty. It is never wasted. It is always used by Allah for your purification, your growth, and your nearness to Him. Think of how your dua changes when you are in difficulty. It becomes real, raw, honest. You don't recite words, you feel them. You don't repeat duas, you cling to them. You don't ask casually, you beg with a trembling heart. That state of sincerity, that surrender, that depth of connection is a gift many people never experience until hardship forces them into it. Allah loves to hear your voice. He loves when you return to Him. And sometimes the only way your heart turns back is when something shakes you deeply enough to remind you that you cannot walk this path alone. Hardship becomes the bridge that leads you back to Allah's mercy. And the moment you truly turn to Him, the moment your heart says, Ya Allah, I have no one but you, you have already succeeded, even before the hardship ends. Because closeness to Allah is the greatest success, greater than any ease you are waiting for. When Allah loves someone, He purifies them. He removes what harms them. He rearranges their path. He lifts them in rank. But purification is not always comfortable. Gold is purified through fire. Hearts are purified through trials. And the believer knows that if a hardship brings them closer to Allah, even one step, it was a blessing, not a burden. So when life becomes difficult, do not ask, why me? Ask, what is Allah teaching me? Ask, how is this bringing me closer to Him? Ask, what light is being prepared for me through this darkness? Because every hardship that returns your heart to Allah is a gift that might arrive through tears, but leaves behind clarity, strength, and a deeper connection with your Lord. And that connection is worth every moment of pain that led you to it.